for the final ride through the continent on our final episode for Onyx Storm. Sup, sluts?
You are the absolute worst.
Just Ron Burgundy it. You write it, I say it.
This makes me wonder if I slip a random word into your paragraphs, I think you would read it.
Maybe.
So
I don't know. Sometimes I catch it. It just depends.
I mean, sometimes we fuck up our own words because then it'll be a surprise.
Sometimes. Every day we record.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I guess. Oh, by the way, good morning. Hi.
Hi.
So it's a little weird. We've been in this world deep for 3 fucking months. 3 months. How are you feeling about it being our final Onyx Storm episode?
Happy. Relieved for my brain because we use, obviously, if you've been on this ride with us, we use a lot of brain power. We go through line by line, building theories. It's a lot. And I enjoyed it. I just think my brain is like, let's have a break now, please. We also had an aggressive filming schedule, so that was part of it.
We had to get all this information out. Like I couldn't contain this for more months. Also, I don't think I could think about this for more months. My brain is broken. It's shattered.
Warning. If you've not finished Onyx Storm, this is our last episode. So this is awkward to tell you, but you need to stop and go back and read it before you come and listen to us. Thanks. Oh, also we say bad words and shit. So we aren't little ear friendly unless you want them to sound like fucking pirates. Maybe from the Emerald Sea. I don't know.
Part pirate, part mermaid. I imagine mermaids would swear too.
Yeah, I think so. Today we are covering chap 61 through 66 of Onyx Storm. And we will also be having our final thoughts at the end. Just a reminder that theories can evolve. They can change. They can be debunked or just be completely off the fucking rails. Regardless, it's all for fun and it's really just not that deep.
Honestly, the completely off the rails is mostly a warning for my theories because I just come up with out-of-pocket shit for them.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying.
You're the worst.
Okay, you're the one always asking about, it's not even theories, it's more your questions.
And develop into theories.
It's not your theories are off the rails, it's just the questions that you have.
Has anybody responded to the question you posted on Instagram?
Yeah, one idiot wanted to know, what's the Venom skincare routine look like?
That's wild. Who would ask that? Somebody else thinks about Venom skincare?
Somebody fucking off the rails.
I don't know who. Wasn't me. As Shaggy would say.
I was gonna say, well, it wasn't me. So you're hanging on the couch. All right, we're a couple minutes in. Already got a song under our belt. We're doing
Thank God. They're here for karaoke.
And I already said that's what she said. So we're doing really good.
Nailed it.
Haven't said interesting once yet, though. So let's get this.
Did.
But you know.
I don't know. Tell me.
No.
Now relax those shoulders, unclench those jaws, and let's get into it. I feel like you're looking at me like, what is fucking wrong with you? I've had that look my whole life.
It's more like we are so unhinged, and I haven't even started talking. Chapsicle 61, Bad Girl Riri.
Okay, before we really get into this, I feel like we should address Ree's chapter. I have seen negative feedback for having so many point of views, but Vi can't be in 2 places at once. How else could we see what's going on with the squad without going into someone else's point of view? Also, I also think it's cool to see how everyone interacts with their dragons, because we've seen a bit of Scale and Xaden. We haven't had a Riddick point of view, but we did get a little insight to his relationship with Atrum, a little insight to Sawyer's relationship with Fleesheg, but we actually get to see how Rhee and Fierge interact as well as Imogen and Glaine. So everyone's relationships with their dragons, it will seemingly impact the future of things in the Empyrean. I'm just saying, like, there's good drags versus bad drags, which also so sad that I came up with this nickname for dragons on the last episode.
We're going to be so excited to come back because we have so many nicknames.
Yes, our brains are broken, and that's why these nicknames keep coming out. But this is just building an excitement for the next book. Not figuring things out, but to use the nicknames.
Yeah, that's it.
Totally the reason. I also really want to give a shout out to Rebecca for the key in the beginning that tells us who rides what dragon, because during these point of views, the dragons refer to the other dragons, not the riders, and my little brain is exhausted at this point and needs the key. I love a good key.
She does. She loves a key. She loves a map.
I love information.
Where I like to find information more so. I'm like, let me dissect.
Well, I like to make the graphs and stuff, but
Yeah.
this is just helpful for
the way
books.
your Virgo brain works, for sure. I'll read the epigraph just because let's give Rhee a little love. Command is built on respect, rules, and obedience. Squads are built on trust. Leadership for second years by Major Pippa Jones. I don't know her name, but Pippa. It's probably Pippa. Well, yeah. I was thinking about this, like, command is built on respect, rules, and obedience. And I was like, I don't know if I could. I would go rogue all the time. Not one.
No way.
I'm not obedient. Don't make a joke. Thanks. Rhee, God damn it. Rhee isn't sure how to protect the pass when she's down 3 of her most powerful squad mates, Vi, Imogen, and Quinn. Rhee thanks Zinal for stopping the wind. She tells the others to form a line. It starts raining, and she's reminded what her twin says. Zinal gives what he sees fit, and she chooses not to thank the god in one breath and curse him in the next.
I just want to say, Vi is semi-close by and is in a life-threatening situation, and there's rain. Is it her emotions with theophanies? Because there's been so many occasions where it's raining and there is no theophany nearby. So
I think it's very possible that it is Vi.
everything is possible.
But now I have Bad Girl Riri Umbrella stuck in my head because I'm talking about rain. Umbrella, Ella. What a banger, though. Okay.
We don't get music like that anymore.
No, they don't make it. It was such a good year. It was 2007. I was living in California. Rhee has her internal struggle with realizing this isn't squad battle. She makes a mistake here and innocent people die. Even though Vi means a lot to her, she is one life and they are guarding thousands and they deserve protection. She yells at Riddick to focus here and not on what could be going on with Vi. Riddick chooses not to flip her off and nods. I'd flip her off. Fierge tells Rhee that acknowledging your fear for the lightning wielder does not compromise you. Ignoring it does. Accept the emotion and move. Wise Yoda advice. Rhee worries for Vi because she knows that she is alone.
Okay, so Taryn, I need to explain that these 6 chapters, you really have to go line by line because everything, I swear, has like double, triple meaning. And so I question everything, but Taryn flew into the cloud cloud cover moments before the windstorm hit. And it just seems like they're getting hit by a freak windstorm here. Do we think it's Theophany or another air wielder? There is the balance. So this is where I was initially red flagged with Garrick again, because at this point in time, he was gone from Vi. So the windstorm timing was just weird. I love Gear Bear. I don't think he's a bad guy, but the way shit aligns is just sus and weird.
My OG guess is it's Theophany personally, just storm-wise, but I'm not ruling anything out. And I appreciate Kylie is taking every single line and truly just coming up with something. It is a fun ride, this episode. When I was rereading everything, I'm like, I kind of like this.
Like, this bitch is out of control. Take her phone or her computer away.
Well, she kept on being like, uh-oh, squirreling again. Right. I was like, yeah, that'll happen.
These chapters are so much.
Yeah. They are. 17 Wyvern pop up. Civilians are screaming. She hopes the first years are listening and pulling the civilians to safety at the top. Ark and Sloan are on her shit list. Ree says the 17 Wyvern is a little menacing, and Fierge says, then let us be menaces, waiting to relay your orders. No pressures.
That's a little menacing. Then let us be menaces. The way that I love this line.
I think it should be our podcast tagline now.
I'm into it.
So let us be menaces. Kind of us.
Shit, we should have started the episode with that.
We're really fucked up. I don't know why the fucked up was so aggressive, but
girl, your Italian's coming out.
whoopsie doopsie. She tells the riot to launch. Your Italian's coming out. Whoopsie doopsie.
You got Irish.
I am Irish, Black Irish to be exact. But anyways, she tells the riot to launch in a thorn formation and the drift to guard the evacuees. Kira, Kitty Cat's Griffin, doesn't love that decision, but Rhea tells her that they have better maneuverability against the cliffs than dragons do and a full arsenal of runes. We can't stop 17 Wyvern with 3 dragons. They just need to be ready.
Okay, so I love Kitty Cat. She's constant pain in the ass to everyone. She's like, or what's her butt? Rhea's like thinking, just once, I'd like to give an order that Cat doesn't feel like she needs to fight.
She literally can't help herself, though. She's just a pain in the ass.
And I love her for it.
She has a hard time with, what's it called?
Leadership, being told what to do.
Authority fix. Yeah. She's like, I'm supposed to be fucking royalty, okay? So don't tell me what to do. She tells the right to switch to vertical formation. We find out that Fierge is a sassy thing because she tells her that second-guessing her decisions makes her do the same with her threshing decision. The target screeches and then climbs out of formation. Fierge breaks away to pursue. Fierge yells, hold, and does some barrel thing that would make me throw up. And then they collide into the wyvern and she bites into her and kills the Timu dragons.
I keep wanting to be like Vi because we've been in Vi's brain for 3 books, so that's where I'm like struggling. But Ree is like, I lock the toes of my boots between her scales and make ready for impact once I can see the shape of their teeth. And how the fuck do these people stay on their dragons without saddles? They're raw dogging riding, and it just like blows my mind.
I think about how much I move around on like fucking Space Mountain, and I have a lap belt. Like, I would fly off that dragon so quick. Me and the drag, I'd be off the drag, like gone.
Saddles or none, like there's just no fucking way.
It's literally like being on, what is it, Tomatoes Jamboree. I'd just be off.
Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. The Maters.
The Maters. The Maters.
I thought you said tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
I was like, who the fuck is Tomater?
You don't know who Tomatoes is? What a loser. Riddick and Atrum fly in pursuit of the wyvern above their heads. A green fire rushes up his tail, but Atrum outruns the flame. Pierre says to hold for a second time and then kills a couple more wyvern. Rhea looks for the rest of the squad. She sees Riddick almost get smashed by the wyvern that falls, and it looks like it cracks in half. She scans the sky looking for Taryn, but Fierge tells her to focus. They head towards the path and see 7 wyvern got through. Cat has one by the throat. Marin aims at one with a crossbow, and a second later, a wing is on fire due to a rune. She tells them to regroup, shield formation. They're down 3, but the strength of the squad is the whole, not the individual.
We need to talk Riddick some more. Let's hop on the Riddick train. I've been still trying to look at Riddick through the suspicious lens, and I still just don't see it. So here's some things that I saw. So Riddick stares at the northern peak, not the path through the valley, just south of it, like he could see straight through the thing if he tried hard enough. And then Rhea's like, Gamblin', I shout across the griffins, I need your focus here. He looks like me, he might give me the finger for a second, but nods. So Eric is precog, and what if he told Riddick he needs him to do something or to assist him after he sees some sort of sign from the north? If he was looking to the valley south, he'd be looking the way of Vi, but Riddick is looking in the way Ark came from. Or was he looking at Taryn thinking, what the fuck, is Vi okay? Because he clearly cares for Vi and has been a protector role this whole book.
So one of the reasons why I believe Riddick is one of the new 6 Avengers is because I think, yes, his signet is powerful, But we know that his favorite god is Zinal, and I think he just knows that Vi needs someone from the Iron Squad for good luck. He said, I just think bad things happen when we aren't together. I keep thinking about how he got that kiss when on the island, and that phrase popped in my head, a kiss for good luck, and I think that's what it was. He's like a lucky little penny.
I'm into that.
It makes dick jokes.
Like I have more on here. I can't see him being bad. But
I don't see it.
do we call them the second six, the new sexy six? Because like they're all hotties.
The plastic, like six.
The plastics.
Yeah. So stupid.
So, and then there is the point where Rhee is like, they're in position. And Fierge answers my unspoken question, but I have a feeling Atrum is going to deviate as soon as he gets a chance. Okay, so we don't know much about their formations and whether or not Riddick sticks to them. We know damn well our girl Vi doesn't, and neither does Xaden. So, like, once again, not suspicious to me because Riddick is also goofy and is such a protector. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see him stray from formation to save somebody.
Not at all. He has a big heart, and especially for his people.
Yeah, I agree. And then, don't worry, we're not done. Also, it says, in that case, would you like to know about the one above us? Rhee asks. She releases the wyvern into the mountainside below. Both our heads snap upward. Atrum flies by in pursuit, and a curl of green fire rushes up his tail. I cease breathing until the brown outruns the flame, saving Riddick from a painful death, and then I face the source. So Taryn allows Vi to use his vision to see her dragon relic when she was given it after threshing. And then again, in the next chapter, 62, so who's to say a dragon cannot develop speed or other types of magic? Um, I don't understand why dragons can't be faster than wyvern. Like, why not? If Taryn has like that ability to like give sight, and it's something that so few are given the gift of. So I don't understand why a dragon couldn't develop speed and be faster than a wyvern.
Yeah, I mean, if humans are like have their own special skills, why wouldn't dragons be?
Yeah. Dragons are liars too. It's not that we don't trust them. We just don't know everything about them.
I know. I keep on thinking that our boy Taryn is way older than he says.
I do too. I definitely do as well. So then this part that makes a lot of people suspicious, this is what it says. Where is the rest of the squad? I search with a quick swing of my head and find Atrum flying vertically alongside the other wyvern above us. My mouth drops as he rolls, putting his spine and Riddick against the creature. And it's like, what in Malik's name is he doing? I shout as Riddick claps the pommel with one hand and extends the other towards the gray scales. Is he trying to get himself crushed? He can't seriously. He is. The wyvern shrieks, and a paler shade of gray spreads along its scales, emanating from Riddick's hand. The beast tenses, then ceases to beat its wings and fall directly toward us. Some people saw that as channeling. And, that's some of the shit that I read.
No, I know. I was just
This whole situation I took as him freezing all the blood or whatever runs in Wyvern's veins, because I don't know if it's blood. Just like in chapter 20, he could freeze the liquid in the orange and was honing in on his signet. So no weirdness or super venom power, just him wielding his ice signet, which he showed us that he was honing in on. Like, none of this screams the one who turned at the end to me. None of this screams suspicious. I cannot get behind that theory no matter how much I try to play devil's advocate while reading this. And I love devil's advocate, but like, I cannot get behind Riddick is a bad guy or turns venom.
No, I think our boy was just being a super freak with his signet. He was just doing what he does.
Yeah, this whole chapter, every reference to him, he's just protector and doing what he's supposed to do. Like, nothing is like weird.
The only thing that I would say maybe this is, so I guess I'll put on my devil advocate hat. When he found out that Xaden was Venom, his main concern was that everybody that knew had loyalty to Xaden and not to Violet. So the one thing that I could say is maybe he decided, I don't believe this to be true, but he decided, okay, I'll turn Venom and that way I have Vi's back and can watch over Xaden, but through like the loyalty to Violet, if that makes sense. Do you get what I mean? It's kind of
I
weird.
could see that, but
I don't think
I don't
so.
think that. I
I
don't. Yeah.
devil's advocate hat for just the fucks of it. Also, we should nominate our girl Ree for the Avengers spot. Yes.
They're basically the Young Avengers, which is
Yeah, because she has a green dragon, right?
Yep.
And then there's mentions of her being like Amari, so we're looking at the gods as well. We have Riddick, who has a brown, and with Zanal, so that's kind of our 2 nominations so far in chapter 61.
And I agree. Same page. Because yeah, the way that Riddick can utilize his signet is it's great. Good for him. Powerful.
Yeah, like freezing people.
Wyvern. Fucking those big ass wyvern.
Timu drags.
Chapter 62. I'm going to read the epigraph just for funsies. There is no goddess more wrathful than Dune. Entering her temple will slice the soul from any attendant who has shunned her grace. Major Rorley's Guide to Appeasing the Gods, 2nd edition. Still curious on that first edition.
I think that every time I'm like, what did you rewrite?
Yeah, considering they love changing history so that it's appealing to them. Back to Violet versus Theophany. Vi to T-Pain with the blade on her throat is like, do it, and then headbutts her nose. We all learn from miscongeniality, sing. Vi just skipped the solar plexus and the instep portions and skipped straight to nose. I think she should have gone for the groin too to really send a message, but whatever.
Missed opportunity for
Totally.
mm-hmm.
Theophany is not thrilled that she needs a nose job. Theophany is pissed. Theophany is pissed and is like, I don't need you. You're not that special. But Vi is like, you do, and I am. T-Pain is like, you meant more to me when you had your Irid. And then she starts doing party tricks and turns the ground a little gray. Then Theophany is like, you worry about Zebebe? You can have forever with him if you join my downline. And she grabs a green tip dagger, which we all know too well as a poison tip dagger. She tells Vi she knows he is her vulnerability.
Okay. You think I won't do it, take your life, she studies with a malice she previously lacked, which I think that's a mask slipping situation where she was trying to be all nicey nice, like join my downline, and then she's like, JK, I'm a monster. I think you exposed your desperation with your once a century comment. You need me. Another will come along. You are not special, but I'm the only lightning wielder. You have to prove yourself now. You expose your desperation with your once a century comment. Once again, prophecy, like that's a just once in a century they come along. Why? Because there's something written in the stars from those damn gods telling them this is how they defend the damn venom.
So there's one every year. They get a yearly one every
Right.
century. So there's been 6, but they weren't it. They weren't part of the criterion.
No, they didn't. And now this is why she's so special. And then you add in an Irid, who is magic itself, who's like, in my opinion, the dragon of the gods. And yeah, that's where we're at. So with my Lyra Theophany theory, this comes into play where I think that Lyra, who is now Theophany, was a part of the original prophecy, and her shadow wielder, potentially lover, fucked it up. And now she's out for, she knows she's got to kill her.
Maybe Theophany was Daremore's original boo.
I don't know. Or it could be, I think his name's Braxton, is what I've kind of come up with the Tyrandor one. Maybe he was the OG shadow wielder. But it's one of the two, in my opinion. But prophecy.
It's there.
You cannot change my mind. That's canon for me.
Same. Like I said, if it's not, we're gonna be so upset.
We had some comment on one of our reels, like saying how when Justinia said the Easter egg comment or she made the prophecy comment, it was an Easter egg. I'm like, yeah, I agree. Thank you.
Yeah, the prophecy comment and then the fact that there are oracles, foreshadowing in my brain.
Which, by the way, I think Grandmama maybe an oracle.
Yeah, I'm on board with that one.
Something there because it means like path or destiny, her name. So I'm like, what do you know?
Old lady. You're so polite. You're like lady. I'm like old lady. When talking about love, uh, Theophany, I almost said Mira. Theophany's like saying that Xaden can't love her in the way that she wants, and that we're excellent actors, but our kind doesn't feel what you call love. And once again, pointing out Benin are liars. We're excellent actors. So don't trust anything that they say, only what you see them do or read that they're physically doing, because we can't see.
If you're gonna want someone to turn, what you would need to do is extinguish all hope, and that's what that comment was.
Yes. Um, this is just off topic, but we've literally said venin so much it does sound like a hot dog or something. Like, do you want a venin? A venin dog? Like, that's where my mind is going.
So after that, she's like, but our kind doesn't feel love. And she said, you're lying. I would know. Battles are lost by our weakest warrior, and that's what he makes you, weak. And this is the same thing that the June priestess said to Violet before she pushed her in to go fight. Is this like a common Dune thing to say that these high priestesses talk about?
I wonder if now that Xaden is on the other side, Vi can come fully into her powers, because if he's making her weak, that distraction's not there. She can unlock that, open the door, and not just the window to Indarna's magic.
Maybe. I like that. Damn windows. We went on a rabbit hole with that.
T-Pain then becomes Professor T-Pain and tells Vi how to protect herself from being drained, and then starts making shit gray. Then she says, it's simple, actually. Occupying ground that has already had its magic repurposed creates a barrier. The easiest solution to drain it is to drain it yourself. If you do so before I get there, you'll live. You'll keep your love, at least what it masquerades as, and your power, and even your dragon if you wish. And if Vi doesn't do that, she's 86 from life, but she's too dangerous to be left alive. So why is she so dangerous? Why is she too dangerous? What sets her apart? Obviously, there's the lightning wheel there one every 100 years, but
The prophecy. Yeah. Yeah, there's got to be something else with Vi, and I think it has to do with her being God touched, as well as all the gods trying to curry her favor, which probably has to do something with the prophecy.
there has to be a fucking prophecy.
I'm gonna be pissed if there's not. It doesn't make sense for there not to be.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Well, because if you think about like Greek god stuff, there's always prophecies and stuff in there. So I just feel like that's what's gonna happen.
That's why we went straight to it, because it just makes sense.
Mhm. And like we're Harry Potter girlies, we know all about prophecies.
Yeah, from the From Blood and Ash series, those ones, prophecy. There's always a fucking prophecy.
Yeah, in fantasy, or especially just because gods are so prevalent in this series and they're like mythology kind of Greek goddish vibes, there's a prophecy.
I mean, think of Throne of Glass
Mm-hmm. Prophecy.
all the time.
No spoil, but I miss it.
That's not spoiling shit. There's just a prophecy.
Oh, I know, but I was going to say something like, no, I stopped myself.
Vi drops her conduit, then runs to a wyvern and does the warp wall with daggers up its side. The gray passes under the wyvern, but not over Vi. T-Pain is a little impressed, and then a claw scoops up Vi. It's not Tarn.
Scale, you're an inconvenience for which there's no adequate measurement, but you have done an excellent job keeping the Maven occupied. Sassy, sassy Segale. I love her.
I do too, and I love when we get commentary from her, because it's always bitchy and I want more.
She is like such a bitch,
I love it.
but she's a loyal bitch.
Yes, very
And I also like that you could tell she's just so badly didn't want to like Violet this whole series. And then she's like reluctantly like, ugh, fine.
She likes her, but will never admit it.
No. And like everything's Violet's fault. Like, he's hurt. It's your fault. And she's like, I'm not a fucking wyvern. Like, thanks for laugh.
So it's our girl Sigale, who is not impressed. But Violet is confused why she is not flying towards Aiden. But then she's like, she's all yours. She drops by, who ends up being snagged by Taryn. She finds out Brennan is healing Tiny and Mira is alive. So all good in the hood there. They head back to the field, but T-Pain is nowhere to be seen. Taryn is like, look south, but Vi has puny human eyes. So then he has her see through his vision. She sees silver locks, and amidst all the shitty wyvern, she sees one bigger than Coda. Vi asks, why would writers develop Farsight if you can see that clearly anyway? The privilege of our sight is afforded to few is how Taryn responds. And just something about this is off because obviously Liam had a second signet, but there has to be more to Farsight or something because Vi has a point. Like, why is this afforded to few when dragons
They
only
only,
have sight?
yeah, so dragons obviously have great sight. I just feel like dragons don't fully trust their humans. So it's like secrets could be revealed, things like giving them sight. So I don't know.
I wonder if like more dragons have that ability, but they don't trust their human. They have more abilities that they could give their dragon, but they choose not to, or give their human.
They're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
No,
not
I
dragons. I mean, dragons do ride dragons, but not what we're talking about right now.
well, also not all dragons are good. So they
True.
don't
Bad drags versus good drags.
tale as old as time.
Vi takes an account of who she can see. Glaine, who's Imogen's dragon, Kath, Dane's dragon, and Cure, Bobo's dragon. She gets confused by the sight of Bobo's dragon. All Taryn says is, we all make our own decisions. She asks about Xaden and her savior, Sigale, but she has withdrawn, and that makes Taryn worry more. Vi has her own cool party trick and creates 10 lightning bolts, 7 which struck, Taryn says, like a proud papa, then takes out 5 more, and then 4 more, and then more, 39 in which they counted. Then it makes her drink water because she's a Hydro homie, or he's a Hydro homie, and doesn't want Vi to burn out. They see Theophany on her thick-ass wyvern. Vi realizes she only has 1 dagger left. Vi takes out another venom, and Theophany gives the gift of a tornado. Taryn yells down every pathway to ground the riot. They see Molvik arrive, and that Zelna party will arrive in 30 minutes. Violet then sees Cure disappear, as Bobo's dragon, to the fray above the city, and Glaine, Imogen's dragon, launches after. Then it's off to Theophany. My brain's broken, and if you're not, like, looking at it, you're like, whose fucking dragon is this? So I'm just sharing.
Well, and the internet has told us that this book was confusing to them. So it's good that we're telling them.
Just trying to be clear. I just want to help everybody out.
So with Bobo turning, Violet says he's supposed to be safe, but nah. Well, she doesn't say that, but he's off killing Wyvern. And Taryn's response is, we all make our own decisions. So it's just like, it's possible.
I feel like all these puzzle pieces are moving with intention.
Mm-hmm.
So Arik directed the advanced party of forces from Zelna, but we don't know where he went after. There's no more mentions of his whereabout after Molvik was seen here. Maybe I said Garrick, not Gear Bear, was moving the eggs, distance wielding, passed them off to Arik, who directed the troops, then headed off to the Isles of Dune or something. It's not like Arik to run away, nor Molvik that gets me. It's as if they know Arik's intention is more than the troops.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go on a little reminder about who Molvik is. So Molvik is a blue dragon. And let's go back to the epigraph from Fourth Wing, Chapter 3, Colonel Kaori's Field Guide to Dragonkind. Blue dragons descend from the extraordinary Gormphalius line, known for their, I don't know if I said that right, guys, known for their formidable size. They are the most ruthless, especially in the case of the rare blue daggertail, which we know is Sigale, whose knife-like spikes at the tip of her tail can disembowel any animal with a flick, or any enemy with a flick. So,
but maybe
yeah, for sure. They can do both. Blues are ruthless and intimidating, so you shouldn't approach them. There are a handful in service along the Esben Mountains in the east where fighting is intense, which during Vi's first year, no blues were willing to bond, but Molvik was ready when Arik was there. And the point is, though, Sigale and Molvik come from the same line. Really saying Xaden is in cahoots with Auric is more possible if there is trust established between their dragons.
Mhm. I agree, and
So just in the case that they're friends.
they're friends. Yeah, what if they're besties?
Poor Gare
We have
Bear.
no. I know, like just wants
He's
his
like
dragon to go.
his friendship bracelet and just tears it off because he's mad at Xaden because they've got bestie bracelets now.
No, so Gale and Moldick have bestie bracelets. So we talked about this morning on the phone because we don't stop ever. And one thing that I had mentioned about it seems obvious to me and you that Xaden and Ark were in cahoots kind of this whole book and like looking after each other. Also, it's in their best interest because of where they're from and the royalty on both sides for them to work together. Because I truly believe we will, by the end of this book or this series, we will cure Xaden. Tyrandor will have the throne, we'll have royals there, like official kings. And Auric will be the king. It'll be Auric the Wise.
After Halden sacrifices himself, because I do believe that one will happen. That's just like a random theory that I am married to. Halden will do something good, even if he
That
sucks.
he does suck. He's just a bro, he's just a boy.
I think they just all love Vi with her just clearly gold-plated pussy.
Apparently.
Get ready for guild.
Yeah, that's an Easter egg for Gil. Gold-plated pussies. Can't wait to see ya next episode.
But it's like, but damn, everybody's in love with Vi.
They are. And even Ark made that comment. I thought about it a lot. I have trusted Violet's wisdom since we were children. Like they just have hold her to a very high esteem and respect. And I'm just like, she must have a golden plated pussy.
Oh, fuck. So that's it. Chapter 62.
Well, she has a Irid now. Maybe it's a magical pussy.
Transforms to whatever
Power comes out through there, and you wouldn't even know.
Literally power up the pussy.
Always. Chap 63, Imogen. Fuck you. My daughter and I will meet Malik with clean consciences. Will you and your daughters be able to say the same when they come for you? The last words of her mom.
I think it's Tricilla Cardulo.
Cardulo.
Honestly, we could have just listened to the audio and we would have known.
Interesting that Vi ends up heading the revolution.
And I wonder what's being redacted, because it's the last words of Tricilla Cardulo redacted.
Imogen sees Bobo in trouble and she's instantly angry pants. He doesn't understand that if they lose both him and Ryerson, Tyrandor falls to whomever the king appoints. And there is no fucking way she will see an Averan fancy pants I want to say Aristocat every time.
Just say it.
On the a fancy pants Aristocat. Get it? Like cat?
Oh my God, I hope they use that nickname for her.
I'm going to. On the burned throne her mama Katrina died defending. The rage that lives in her chest burns even hotter. Fuck the horde, fuck the venom, and fuck the tornado. I read tomato in my head, just FYI. We are not losing fucking Bobo. There are too many wyvern. Quinn says there isn't a sufficient supply even though they brought 2 cases. Felix is having Garrett get more. He has to be close to burnout at this point. She hopes that Sorengale can stop the storm. Glaine tells her that Cure suffers. Warning bells. Glaine does some aerobatic shit while attacking Wyvern. Once again, I would throw up. Imogen and Glaine discuss their kills, which is giving Gimli and Legolas in 2 Towers for me. Why is Cure suffering?
It's a great question.
Bobo, what are you doing?
Bobo, what have you done?
Yeah.
There's a point where it's like, oh shit, Felix knows about Garrick. Gods, he has to be nearing burnout at this point. So he was like obviously transporting weapons, but could he have been gathering other things at this time? Like some eggs? I don't know if I believe this, but I'm like starting to convince myself that Garrick is was on burnout, so they think, while gathering eggs, but then he had to channel to like keep going so he didn't burn. I told myself I
If
wouldn't get
Ger-
on board with this.
I know if Gare Bear is in fact Venom, which already, I don't think Imogen knows.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it would be just the besties, Zabe, Bebe, and Gare Bear, and maybe Bodhi, which would be the reason why he would want to turn. Poor little guy doesn't let me hold that thought.
There is a moment. Yep. Hold that thought, because poor you guys are gonna hear my voice a lot this this chapter. Also, Kath launches, and I blink in surprise. Guess Ados is all about breaking rules now, but he's got that bad girl fever after pining after Sloane. He's about to like be all about risk taking. Dane's in his bad boy era.
I love that for him.
He's wearing a leather jacket and everything.
And smoking cigs.
Or French fries.
Or French fries. God, that was funny. A wyvern goes for Glaine's throat, and Imogen shanks her eye with a sword. Glaine dives after it. Not the eye, to be clear. Imogen is like, "Are you kidding me?" And Glaine is like, "Did you fall off?" "No, I did not bond a whiner." Glaine sees a wyvern heading south of the city and says that one, but Imogen tells her it's not their airspace. She can't help but notice that they are down their most powerful rider, Care Bear. Glaine can't help but mention, "For someone so decisive, you have yet to act on that," but Imogen shuts that down real quick.
The whole I did not bondo whiner. I'm like, is Glaine likely?
Also, immediately calling out her friend about having feelings for somebody. Glade and I, we may be soul sisters too. I told you, I love Imogen and Riddick. We're just
Like I said, if they made a baby, it would be you.
Mhm. When Imogen says, "I've always known I'll die in combat. I just don't want it to be today." God damn it, Rebecca. There's some foreshadowing here, I believe.
She knows when she's gonna die.
Right? Because maybe she's got touched. BRB, we'll see in a little bit.
It's mentioned when looking at Wyvern to add to their count, but it wasn't in their airspace. But they're down their most powerful rider, Garrick, and there's no sign of Crod in sight. Where is Garrick? We know he's running something that Felix, and Felix knows about Garrick, so they're running weapons, but that's not saying he isn't stealing eggs too. But he could have channeled to keep going. So maybe this is the second time he did channel.
The first time being
When he went
when
missing,
he did.
which I do have a reference to this at some point, so don't you worry. I looked it up.
I'm not working. Two dark wielders are headed towards the tower that Quinn is at. See, two towers, Gimli. Imogen tells Glaine she will need to dismount. There's nothing she can do in the air. Glaine tells her she is to defend the tower from the walls with the wing leader. Glaine lets her know that her death would annoy her. God, I love the drags.
Oh, I was really just wondering what's wrong with my brain. Why did I start calling them drags?
It's my favorite thing. One of my favorite nicknames you ever gave. I've taken on Gear, which you started, drags. Now I've said Bobo in this episode because it's too good to not. I think those are the main ones I say of yours. We
Yeah,
both love a fucking name.
we do. We'll get one for Riddick and Sawyer in the next book.
Maybe.
I feel like Riddick does need one because I'm so hard for him.
You,
Anyway,
you got a lady boner for Riddick?
totally. Okay, so they were like, damn it, or Imogen was thinking, damn it, they were supposed to be safe. No one was supposed to know, but the purposeful strides of those dark wielders prove they know what's happening in that tower. We talked about someone inside Oration leadership being Venom and not in a good way. Um, how did dark wielders know what was happening in that tower? Do they have somebody who has infiltrated them?
I'm going with Felix.
He's just like I don't know. I don't know if I trust him. There's some red flags, but there's also
It's got to be,
Suri, who I don't
yeah.
necessarily.
The reason that I'm thinking Felix is because he seems the most trustworthy. in the last two books. So it'd be a more impactful betrayal.
Yeah.
We don't see a lot of Suri.
No, there's one mention of her in this book. One.
Yeah, so
And
that's
she's
why
part of the scenario.
I feel like it's going to be Felix.
She's more prevalent in this book, and yeah.
And yeah, in the last book, like we know him the most. What's the point?
Yeah. Somebody in Eurasian leadership is for sure Venin, not good.
Yeah, bad Benin.
Yes.
Imogen runs towards the tower. Dane joins her with half his face drenched in blood, bearing his own dagger and a shield half his size. The Dark Wielder whips towards them quickly and swings his staff in their direction. So Imogen says, I mentally open the door to my childhood home and flood my body with her power. What does this mean, Kylie?
Okay. Bobo, sorry, my brain just broke. Bobo also said, I need to say or protect her. And then Imogen just said, with her power. So something's happening. But you also need to give the full quote. Fuck, I really didn't want to have to do this, but I mentally opened the door to my childhood home and flood my body with her power. Why was this an option? Okay, you guys, let's talk Imogen for a minute. So Imogen is always coloring her hair. Hot pink, always upkept. It's been commented being pink a lot, like freshly colored. So we know it's not some sort of natural color in their realm. Like
We even talked about on the podcast in Iron Flame coverage. So it's
yeah.
well documented that we're onto that.
Yes. But also, Quinn couldn't get the right color of her hair when she was astral projecting as Imogen, even with a stronger signet. So it's weird that she can't match Imogen's color. And it's weird because Quinn's telling us about her signet. She says, I can distort my own features a little, but it's way easier in the astral plane. My signet is stronger because Kruth, her dragon, was my great aunt's dragon. But she is not a direct descendant, so I don't have to worry about going mad like those whose dragon bond in the direct familial line. Dragons aren't supposed to even get close to family lines for that exact reason, like they listen to human rules. She glances at Imogen and then changes the subject. I still can't get the right shade of pink for your hair. So I think like not only was she telling us about Xaden without telling us, like giving us that info, but I think there's more to it with Imogen.
You think it's like a little nod to something, a little Easter egg that audience doesn't quite.
It made me immediately think of the epigraph from chapter 48 of Onyx Storm, The Resurgent of Evil, a timeline of Pearson Halliwell. It was in 472 AU, Willhaven Breivik. With the exception of one house, the village was desiccated overnight by a single Venin estimated to be a sage. The only adult amongst the three survivors described her as astonishingly ageless, hair as black as the day we married, but in the place of the age lines I'd expected were bulging scarlet veins branching outward from her red-ringed eyes. I don't know, that's just immediately where my mind went to. I feel like they're connected because Imogen's Imogen's name means maiden or daughter. Glane is an orange dragon. Do with that as you wish. We've always been like really sus about orange dragons. Imogen is also really fast on top of petrification and memory erasure. Erasure?
Yeah.
And why is Quinn the only one she loves? Why not any of the others with relics? Why not Gare Bear?
I think she said the only one battlefield. So it's still possible that it's
only talks about loving Quinn. Like that is, she literally says, I love you to only her. And like you
she doesn't do Gare Bear. We know that.
So something about those is connecting to me. I don't know how, but I'm making a web graph, and it's a bubble.
Now, my brain goes a little elsewhere on this, but that's not till a little bit after. Imogen is definitely going to be important in the future books.
Yeah, there's more to Imogen, and
she yells for Ados to get behind her. His eyes flare wide and he lets go. She turns a bunch of shit to stone. Medusa light, as Kylie says. Dane throws a dagger and the dark-wheeled fuck dies. They see another dark wielder. Dane tells her he will take that one and she takes the one in the tower. He looks at the stone shield and is like, and we're going to talk about whatever the fuck that was later. Two women carrying crying toddlers come out of the doorway with horror-stricken eyes. One tells her that they have to help her. We got lost and went into the wrong tower, and Imogen tells them to go west and run, which I would die because I don't know where west is, and I would like go the wrong way.
We got to get you in some classes, some Girl Scout classes.
I'm not fucking Lewis and Clark. Leave me alone.
Okay, let's talk about Dane for a second. First, Dane starts to tell Imogen to get behind him, but she gets the words out first. And then the heat dissipates, the blast ends, and Ados dives to the left and throws an ally-hilted dagger, sails from his hand, and I rise clutching my own. Dane got Daddy's Dane status from me here. Like, I was so turned on reading about him. Little protector Dane of Imogen.
I know.
Oh, how
Who
the tables have turned.
How the turntables. I can't not say it.
I know.
Michael Scott. She gets to the third story of the tower, and a purple-robed Venom tried to hit Quinn with a green-tip dagger. It's just a projection. The Quinn below her is moving closer to the Dark Wielder. Imogen throws a dagger at him and yells, "Got him!" Quinn... God, what movie is that? Saving Sarah Marshall. Got her!
You used to say that shit all the time.
All the time. It was during 2009.
I was going to say the summer of all summer.
What a time to be alive. Okay. Quinn turned towards her with wide eyes as she looks at her chest, and the venom blade is lodged between her ribs. Imogen runs towards her and cradles her. Quinn asks, "Did they make it?" And Imogen talks about getting a mender, but she asks again, "Did they make it?" Imogen then realizes Quinn saved them. Imogen asks for help to Glane, and she responds, "I'm sorry." Oh. Quinn says, "There's no helping me. There are no menders here, and there are no runes for this. I need you to tell Jax that I love her." Imogen tells her, "No, you tell her. You're going to graduate in a couple months, and then you'll marry her in that pretty black dress you picked out, and you're going to be happy." Quinn says, "Tell her she's been the best part of my life. You don't count, Kruth. You became my life." Imogen says she will tell her. "Tell my parents it was worth it. And you should tell him, Jen. Tell him, and you find some happy." Imogen begs for her not to go. "You're my best friend and I love you." Quinn tells her she's scared. Imogen says, "Don't be. My mom will take care of you. Katrina too. They'll love you. I talk about you all the time." I was more sad on this reread about Quinn than I was initially. I think I had anxiety reading the end of the book because I didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
But reading it here, I really felt... I mean, we really don't know Quinn that well, but I just felt for him.
Comment.
I know, and I liked her because of that. But it was just...
It hit harder the second round because, like, you weren't consuming the book, you were paying attention.
Yes, and it was just like, oh.
It's sad, for sure. But I'm scared for the next book because Rebecca moved some of the deaths from this book to the next one. And, like, don't get me wrong, Quinn's sad, but who the fuck else was supposed to? Okay, I want to talk about their relationship for a second. Quinn and Imogen's. Quinn's face contorts with pain, and Imogen's like, "I swear I feel it in my own chest, rending muscle and stripping my veins before it passes," and her breasts grow shallow. That's just a weird line. "I feel it in my chest." And then Quinn's like, "I'm so sorry, I have to go first this time." And if you go back to Conscription Day, it's like, "Hi, I'm Quinn Hollis. I've decided we should be friends." That's what she said to me as we climbed the turret on Conscription Day. "You do realize we're about to cross the walkway of death. Well, then it might be a short friendship, but we'll make it a good one." Nothing here says Imogen went first or Quinn went first or who went first. That's why this time, "I'm sorry I have to go first," this time gets me. And then Quinn also keeps calling her Jen as a nickname, Gen. And in Japanese, it's a masculine given name denoted by different characters, but it means source or origin. And then in Chinese, it also means root, basis, origin. And then in German, it's clan or family or lineage. This may all mean nothing, but I just keep going back to that epigraph with them. Like something is weird about their bond. Or maybe they're secret lovers, even though she has Jax. Who knows?
The internet thought that they were dating the most of the time. I found out. A lot of people get confused, but I didn't.
They're
I
just
didn't track
affectionate
that.
friends.
Yeah, they just seem like besties.
Yeah, that's all I got. I didn't get like.
But I guess if you don't read the books like we read the books, then I could see how if you're skimming
Yeah.
or not really thinking, that would be. I get it. So I like where you're going with all of this.
We're not going anywhere yet, but we are laying it all out there.
Yeah, trying to figure shit out. We brought up the hair coloring, like I said, in Iron Flame, and she even told Vi in Fourth Wing that she should color her hair if she didn't want to stand out. But I looked more into it. And what if Imogen was dedicated to Loyal, the goddess of love? Loyal is the only goddess requiring a dedication for life. In Major Rory's Guide to Appeasing the Gods, second edition, she says only two require a lifetime of dedication, Dune and Loyal. For both war and love change souls irrevocably. This and Imogen says, the scream that forces its way through the tangled mess of my throat shreds my soul on the way out. An example of love and war shredding in a soul in just one single instance. I also keep thinking about Vi and Imogen's relationship and how they depend on each other. And I feel like there's almost a partnership or like counterbalance there in some ways. While Vi's path is not set and she has not chosen Dune, she was touched. So the love and war do make sense.
Imogen is on our radar. And also, why did she say to Quinn, like, she's supposed to live forever? I'm the one that's supposed to fall. All of this.
Yeah,
Like, Imogen has so many red flags, but not like she's a bad person, but like her part, I feel, is so much bigger. Anybody that
her
has a
story.
relic has a, like, that's in the core people here. I feel like they're just going to have a bigger part, whether or not they're part of the Young Avengers or not.
Well, we have to look at like Rebecca chose for the other POVs to be Ree and Imogen. Well, it could be a foreshadowing. Those two are going to die. Or it's like their story is very important. Like their point of view, like what, there's just something with them.
Maybe we're going to get more point of views in the next book. So this is the introduction to them.
As long as it's not like Crescent City point of views, I'm fine. Also, Quinn said there are no menders here and no runes for this, for dying. Just want to point that out when we have our boy Brennan with a rune on his hand.
I'm like hell bent. It's a resurrection rune.
And they just didn't know that that exists.
Or how to properly do it.
Garrick yells at Quinn that they have to go. His eyes lock with Imogen and she says, his eyes lock with Imogen and she says, she's dead. He says, I'm so sorry, but we have to go. There's 6 of them with their hands on the city walls, draining the life out of the stone. It's time to go. Imogen says, I'm not leaving her. And Garrick yells, I'm not leaving you. He leans in and slides his hand behind my neck and says, I'm not leaving you, Imogen. Softer this time, as I say it harder. I don't know why. We'll take Quinn, but we have to go now. Let me have her. She notices how weak he looks, and for the first time in her life, she doesn't care that he's seeing her at her weakest. When she opens her eyes again, they're in a doorway. Professor Trissa yells, oh gods. Venom, Garen explains. Garen? Garen explains, and then asks if they're weaving. She tells him that they're starting, that they'll be weak until we can bolster with more power, but they are our best shot. Garrick says it's still not enough. Remember, in Rebecca's interview, she said, pay attention to people who think they don't have enough.
You know, he's literally, it's still not enough. Garrick's head hangs as he stands. I can't, dot, dot, dot. He sighs and strides through the door. It's like he knew he had to make a choice here to channel. So I can't say if the sigh is because he's channeling again or for the first, but I think he's channeling again. And that's why he's like Fuck, I gotta do this again.
Well, because I think before he had that one channeling that you and I think happened when he didn't come back. And then, like, this is like the choice of, like, I'm going further in the Venom pond. But he has to because he needs more power.
Right.
Imogen asks, where is he going? He says, I can't walk again. I'm not strong enough to make it to Erasia. So I better find some fucking way to do something. Foreshadow. Imogen tells Blaine to tell everyone, tell every rider within the walls to get over here and disarm. It's the only way we are living through this.
So some thoughts on the three of them. So Bodhi is on his hands and knees across the town square retching. Did Kruth sever the bond because Bobo turned Venom and that's why he's retching? Or because there's not much more information on any of that.
Except that Kruth was it Taryn saying that he is struggling or something? I just said it in 61. Right? You know what I'm talking about. Do you?
No.
Kruth is suffering. That's what was said. Yeah.
So maybe Kruth is suffering from severing
His choice.
Yeah, that too. It could be either
we all make our own decisions. What Taryn says.
Yeah. And then Garrick is like, tell every rider within the walls to get over here and disarm. It's the only way we're living through this. It's like Garrick with his sigh of knowing he has to channel potentially again and again to distance wheel to Dune to get, or the temple to get Vi and Xaden legally married. Bodhi knows he has to as well, so vomiting is maybe how he's coping, just spitballing here. And Imogen knew that this was the plan to call everyone in so that she could easily slip out again to assist with some memory erasing.
Yeah, we don't know if they were clued in on the plan, but I think the full plan, but they were definitely clued in on, like, your assistance will be needed.
Yes.
So, like, don't. Yeah, I don't know if Xaden told him everything. I don't think he did because he waited till the end.
Mastermind works.
No, we know this. Ask our girl Aelin, okay? But I think that they definitely knew, like, we will need more energy because Xaden's going to need us.
I don't think it was enough to have just Garrick channel to help out. I think like it was required of Bodhi, and that's why all this is going down, like the retching and stuff like that.
And I don't think obviously Xaden wanted Bodhi to do this, but Bodhi is
It was a Garrick plan, but
maybe, or Bodhi knows that, like, he wanted to defend his province. He said it so many different times and, like, fight it alongside his cousin. That's what he's doing, but he's going to do it on the Venom side, but be a double agent, in my opinion. The sky darkens, and Imogen thinks Sorengale better take their leader all the way the fuck out, or this will have all been for nothing. Once again, their partnership. Final Imogen thoughts. I also believe she is one of the new 6 Avengers with her rock earth wielding signet. Earlier in the book, Sawyer says, you're fucked because I can't think of a single rock or earth wielder in history. So this is extremely rare.
scale tipping even.
Yes. And even just think about, like, power wise, Venom are, like, getting power out of the stones on the walls. She can create stones. She can probably redo them from other things. Like, it's a fucking powerful signet.
Yeah. And we don't know anything about it because we just got a glimpse during one fucking part.
And she hasn't clued us in on what the first 6 signets were.
Right.
So it's not on, like, there isn't a single rock or earth wielder in history. We don't know what the first 6 were. Or they could have changed it in history anyways because they didn't want them to know.
Because scribes lie. Scribes and Venom.
And we think the first 6 lie.
I feel like there's a lot of dishonesty in this book, and
We're not even talking about the Empyreans' dishonesty. And we know they're dishonest.
Yeah, fuck, everyone's a mess. Nobody trusts each other, so it's just like all these relationships are built on lies.
Nobody trusts each other. We don't trust what Rebecca's saying. Looking at everything.
Chapter 64, we're just reading every epigraph at this point for the end of the book.
I think we have. Yeah.
A gift from one servant of Dune to another. I must warn you, only those touched by the gods should wield their wrath. I will pray to her that she need not use it to avoid reacquainting herself with the other who curries her favor. Her path is still not set. Recovered correspondence of High Priestess Deserby to His Royal Highness Cadet R. Greycastle, Prince Camlian of Navarre. His real full name.
Camlian reminds me of Camelot.
Can you look up what does his name mean?
It doesn't mean it.
Damn. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Already did.
So Theophany used the tornado as an express way to get them to her, and Violet starts tallying the things wrong in this situation. I can't help but wonder if I just invited Malik to our doorstep. She's a maven, and I'm a cadet. She wields storm with expert precision, and I need a conduit for my lightning. She's already felled Taryn once before. Then she thinks about running, but accepts that her and Taryn are ride or die. Vi draws a lightning bolt and misses. Theophany makes it hail the size of cherries and makes it very windy. Vi's conduit shatters and cuts her hand. She shoots and misses again. She misses again and again. Vi realizes that T-Pain is killing the storm to make it harder for her to wield. Taryn warns her about taking more than she can channel. There is a roar of unfettered agony that fills Violet's head so loud it vibrates her bones and shrill enough to pop her ears. A net is thrown over Taryn and they fall. Vi tells Taryn he has been the gift of her life and he's like, it ain't over, sis. They hit the ground and it did not feel great, but they survived. Vi realizes the net can't hold her down. Little Christina Aguilera. Theophany and her thick-ass wyvern take their sweet-ass time towards Taryn and Vi. Vi has a rune that actually works and helps her break down the rope. Something jabs Vi in the ribs, and it's Ark's package. Not the one from his pants, but like a letter and a gift. Ark had written for when you lose yours, strike in the dark, Violet. There was a carved piece of gray marble inside that looks like a ceremonial dagger with a familiar flame-shaped etching along the hilt. So the pillar from Dune's temple in chapter 52 that Violet held up, that Zane assisted with the flame, inspired etched edges. I wonder if this is a favor Zayden called in from Dune after helping with his royal temple, but had Eric grab it, having like the blade made, or did Ark ask the temple with his swinging his royal dick?
I think this was Art getting it. They probably owed him a favor as well because of his precog saved them, and as he is royalty, so they would want to help anyways. And Zayden favor isn't used yet and won't be later until the marriage, especially because he brings it up again then. But hey, maybe they're going to do two favors.
I wonder, did they know that he was the one that told Vi to guard the temple? Because I want a fucking Ark point of view.
I know.
I love the different point of views.
I know you do.
Not too many, not that invested. But I just like at least one.
I think we'll get more in the next book.
I do too. I think that this is the opening for more povs.
I think we'll get Venom point of views from our double agents. I think, yeah.
Little Venom insight.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to talk about the note from the High Priestess of Dune's temple in Erasia, but the letters blur as the pain in my arm flares and Taryn thrashes to free us. It says, a gift from one servant of Dune to another. I must warn you, only those touched by God should wield their wrath. I will pray to her that she need not use it to avoid reacquainting herself with the other who curries her favor. Her path is still not set. Only those touched by God should wield their wrath. Clearly confirming Violet is touched by God because she was able to use the dagger against Theophany, which we assumed. This is just confirmation that we were right. Because Violet uses this dagger, who is she reacquainting herself with that curries her favor? Who all curries her favor? And did this just set her path?
I think it's Malik. Malik has had a hard-on for Vi this whole series. She does shit all the damn time that should piss him the fuck off. Like not burning shit when people die, cursing him constantly after her dad died. She tells him not to take people. He listens. He sends her Liam to not have her break. Now, the question I ponder, is Malik bad or is Malik good? Is Malik doing a full court press to get her to give him her soul, to maybe kill an alleged prophecy, or is Malik good? Is he just the keeper of souls and death? Do the Ven and Biggs all report to Malik? Is he the top of the MLM Venom pyramid?
Not the
These are
bottom.
things not the bottom. I'll also be devil's advocate. Maybe it's not Malik, and maybe she was just referring the one who currying her favor could also be Theophany.
Yeah. Rest in not peace, Stephanie. But it sounds like two gods curry her favor. And it sounds like Dune and potentially Malik. It doesn't sound like all of them do, just two. Which we had discussed, like
Yes.
maybe it's more, or they're all like want a piece of eye, but I think it's just the two. Um, and we talked about maybe Malik is trying to get in Amari's good graces and win her heart back. Like some love story is potentially happening in the background, being written that we don't even notice.
About the gods, yes. Gods are definitely a big part of this story, which you wouldn't have really known. I mean, you said it when we were reading Fourth Wing. You brought up the gods a lot because nobody else was really talking about the gods, and then obviously their role keeps getting bigger and bigger. I think it's all about the gods.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the story.
There was just in fourth week, there was just like too many prayers to the gods. Everybody's different. Like it was so God focused. Like I knew that there had to be more, and here we are.
Well, they were just like background and just mentions, but never like really discussed that much.
Yeah.
So
It was this book that they like really went big and hard.
She's
T-Pain is sauntering like a cat slowly, but Vi descends from Taryn despite his protests. Theophany was like brought low by a net. How easy it was to catch the pair of them. And Vi's like, oh fuck, they have Zadel, Sigale, and Zayden, regardless of what you want their team name to be. Theophany is like, oh, will you finally join? And then Vi starts wielding and missing again. So Vi decides to ask her if she misses Unbrielle. Smart of her to get her monologuing, honestly. It works and knocks her off her game. She keeps going with, do you not yearn for the temple? Theophany's face twists with an emotion that almost looks like longing, but it's quickly masked with anger. She replies, do you? Or are you immune? Having only been touched and not dedicated, do you know the pain of never being allowed to return? Of knowing that it would sever the very thing that's kept me untouchable all these years? Okay, I forgot that I made them a team name because I accidentally typed it and I was like, that's great. Skaden.
But that sentence, do you know the pain of never being able to return, of knowing that would sever the very thing that kept me untouchable all these years? Does being touched by a god cure the venom?
I wonder if like heading back to the temple would sever her ties with being Venom, but I wonder if like you can rededicate or you'd have to rededicate.
Well, just even remember in the what was told to Mira, I think, that her path was not set, but if she still wanted to, like, meaning if she went venom, she could come back. So it's like the gods must have the power in order to heal these souls, right?
Yeah.
They're gods.
Or maybe certain gods can. I don't know. I did see someone mention that they think Zayden's going to get a hair color change and potentially play like the Dune card, and which like I think it's an interesting thought. We know Vi was partially dedicated, but there has to be like a bigger meaning for dedication since there's so much like focus around dedicating. Like what does it do for Venomism? Vi lets her curiosity get the best of her after it being confirmed 3 times now that she is touched by Dune. Theophany, the priestess in Umbriel, and the priestess in the note from Auric. As a high priestess, you would have had immeasurable power on the Isle. How is it still not enough? Theophany responds, why serve a god when you can be one? Putrid fear then floods Violet's bond and it's Sigale's, and Violet says don't through her bond with Xaden. Drathus is enveloped in darkness and it continues to move across the lake toward them, and T-Pain is surprised. Vi whispers, I love you down the bond, and then the shadow knocks Theophany to the ground, so Taryn yells to strike and use the darkness. Vi isn't thinking clearly and is like, become Venom, and then she starts spiraling how she couldn't stop her mother or Xaden or save him. And fuck, then she realized Aric's letter said strike in the darkness, like he knew it would happen. Vi finally figures out he's precog and can see the future, and not a shitty one like DJ Melly Mel who can only foresee battles. He saw this, and he gave me a weapon made of fractured temple, a temple Theophany can't step inside. She unsheathes the marble dagger with her right hand, then mixes her pain into the searing power that scorches what's left of her beating heart, lifts her broken arm, and releases the agonizing burn of energy skyward, and holds it. The continuous strike lights up our surroundings and branches out through the shadow, revealing Theophany's back. She stumbles to her feet and whirls towards me, her eyes flaring wide, and she dives left, smacking into an invisible wall and falling backward. A wall that snarls. It's Andarna. So Violet doesn't seem very surprised that Andarna is there. And at the end of chapter 60, it says, I glanced south just long enough to witness the horde disappearing in the valley. You're right, I can't be everywhere. Theophany's eyes widen as I arch my neck against the blade. I don't have to be. When push comes to shove, I'm not the best of us. She is. And I feel like us is Vi, Taryn, Andarna, Sigale, Xaden. She puts Xaden above everyone. So us, meaning Xaden and Vi, their dragons are a part of them. We know Sigale isn't the best of them, which leaves Andarna. So maybe she noticed a glimmering bond, but didn't tell us readers. And I feel like she realized Andarna was there and they were plotting to rendezvous, or Vi was like giving her updates of her location this entire time.
I think that's very possible. I think that Rebecca kind of tricked the audience by saying the best of us and then going right into Rhee's chapter, making us think that she was referring to Rhee. But you're right, she does not seem surprised at all that Andarna's there.
No.
There's like no mention of it. Like, holy fuck, she's here.
Like,
no,
you
nothing.
think it should have been like, and my eyes widen because there's Andarna, something along those lines,
Yeah.
but there is no ounce of surprise here. Theophany is in awe by Andarna and reaches her hand out. Violet is holding her bolt and sprints. She even whispers, "Irid," in reverence, which, look, I'm dumb and had to Google. It means deep respect for somebody. My brain is, like I said, bleeding. All while pain is wrapping Violet in a broiling vice, while fire is searing her lungs and eventually feels like char and cinder and agony. I don't care what her intentions are. She's not getting her hands on Andarna. So intentions do matter in this book.
I've been preaching it for 3 books. Look at.
Theophany laughs and asks how, because stone doesn't kill venom. And Vi has the gotcha card because she's like, you were never just venom. Duna's a wrathful goddess to high priestesses who turn their backs on her. And then Theophany desiccates and goes poof. Vi releases her bolt, hears Andarna's voice, and then blacks out. Do you think Violet's connection to Andarna saved her from complete burnout because she has another well of Paxis power to access?
As well as being touched by Dune, that's extra power, has to count for something. So I think it's a combo. And who's Dune gonna favor? The one that turned her back on, or the one that's like fighting? So I think that it's all a connection, Andarna and Dune.
I'm wondering if
Like,
this,
she should.
so I wonder if this set her path because she called on Dune for a favor, essentially.
It's true.
Food for thought.
It's good for thought. Since Arik was a part of this, I want to nominate him for one of the new first 6 Avengers. Second 6, I guess. Not only is his signet unheard of, we just have DJ Melly Mel, as Kai says, who is just a bootleg one. He's referred to wise a couple times. He comes from King Tori the Wise, who's just a dumbass that named himself that. He said that knowledge and wisdom should be free multiple times throughout this book. Is he touched by Hedion?
That's a great question.
Also, like we said, he's a blue. His dragon's a blue. So that would help for being the first 6. We're going to give dragon representation because Xaden's fully in Venom Pond right now. Do I think he'll turn over and then that'll tip the scales? Yes, but
All conversation for a later day.
Like 2 years from now. Chapter 65. Xaden's POV. We're just reading all epigraphs. The only thing more unpredictable than the volatile province that is Tyrandor is her duke. There is a reason reigning
Aristocracy.
I almost said that again.
Aristocracy.
There is a reason reigning aristocrat.
Dude, it's a hard one. That's what she said.
Ah, there's a reason Rainier Arista Cock should never wear black. Journal of General DJ Melly Melly. See, I wouldn't have taken him for a journal guy, you know?
It's his diary. Dear diary, today someone
Dear,
made fun of me.
you think you know, but you have no idea. This is the diary of DJ Melly Mel.
I do notice that DJ Melly Mel referenced Tyrandor as a her as well.
Yeah, that's kind of what they do.
But do they,
Well, it's what they do for England too.
yeah, do they refer to Navarre with the gender?
No, she's just a bitch.
But they don't reference any of the other ones with like that kind of,
The sovereignty as a
yeah.
her or a
So it's an interesting character trait for Tyrandor.
special. Xaden was summoned to a hidden cave south of Dreyfus against his will, and he's big mad about that. On top of the fact that Sgael was wounded and ensnared, fury is overtaking him, and he is willingly letting himself so he can be the weapon Sgael needs. He will do anything for the first that chose him. Saw the ugly side of him and accepted it all. Xaden knows that Violet will free Taryn. Okay, so this could be Rogue. But when he's talking about being in the cave south of Dreyfus, when Brennan almost died, he was kind of on a cave on the hills. Is this Naolan, aka Berwyn's spot, for a reason? Brennan woke up on a cliffside in the aftermath of the Battle of Erasia. Marv was wounded. Brennan said that the dragons in Erasia hid the two of them in a network of caves within the valley, which we know that there's a valley right there because they talk about it in here. Brennan later hid with the civilians who survived the destruction of Erasia. Iron Flame, Chapter 2.
For once, I disagree with you on this. It's not impossible, because that's when Erasia burned down in the Battle of Erasia, like duh. But Erasia's northeast of Dreyfus. Erasia is a couple hours flight from the cliffs of Drayler. So I don't know if these locations are one and the same, since Brennan said a cliffside near here when talking to Vi at Ryerson House. The canyon that Xaden is beckoned to is south of Dreyfus. The cave system is huge, so who knows? But I don't know if I agree with like location. It's that map girl in me.
Yeah, I looked at the map and I'm like, maybe.
It's the Brandon saying a cliffside near here. That's implying that it's close by, and Dreyfus is, like I said, several hours flight. Well, it's several hours flight to Madaro Pass, so I don't know how long it is from Madaro to Dreyfus.
Yeah, I was just looking at Erasia and like where they're at. It's not impossible to me when I look at the map. Like it is potentially. And also, Brennan wasn't being forthcoming with a lot of what he was saying back then because he was hiding things. So I just don't fully trust everything Brennan says, not in a bad way, just for, I think, protecting Vale.
Brennan's a homie, not a hoe.
No, I think he's for sure, but he he has some loved ones in the Venom Pond, is my thought.
It's like nobody trusts each other fully in this story, except for the Iron Squad. They like explicitly trust each other, except for Violet.
Yes. Agreed. There are two Venom in tacky ass robes that will soon be killed once the Gale can regain enough power. The one he can't kill, Berwyn, is walking towards him, passing the traitor Panscum. The bond between them is the kind that should never exist. He also has another sibling he can use against me. He's screwed.
But because I can't kill him, I could no more raise a blade to his throat than I could Violet. The bond between Violet and me is the kind of magic that has no explanation. I don't care. The Scream mates, they're more than just a damn dragon bond connection, okay?
Soulmates, prophecy, fated mates, something.
The bond between Berwyn and me is the kind that should never exist, and now that my sage has another sibling he can use against me, I'm screwed. The kind that should never exist. Is this more than like an initiate sage relationship? Like, why can't Zaid specifically kill Zaid? Zayd, like, obviously, like, that's his HBIC, but is there more to this bond? Like, maybe it is Zayden's grandpa.
Maybe. Theophany made some comment about like Berwyn being controlling, right? Early in the book. So maybe there's something that Berwin does, whether it's a rune or what, that he has control over his downline.
Maybe. That I can get behind. I love a good rune.
And I know nothing about runes. Like I literally, my mind goes blank when we talk about them. But hey, I actually think that that's possible.
This is why we do this together. We fill each other's gaps. That's a unique way to put
Because
that.
if you think about our boy Naolin loved runes, look at what he did to Brennan. Sick tat. Tiny hats are so popular, especially on the hand. So he was ahead of his time.
Yeah, he's a trendsetter. Go B-Dog.
Xaden's new brother and his unconscious dragon are lying in the valley beyond the canyon. That's the valley I was talking about when I was swirling. He doesn't understand how he could do this, choose this, after watching him stumble the last 5 months. How did he willingly decide to walk this path? Xaden says he's the last person he would have expected to turn. Xaden is feeling the pressure. He can't let Sigale die, can't leave his new brother to stumble down the path he did, can't allow his friends to die because he selfishly wants Vi by his side. He feels the clamoring emotion pounding at the ice, but he can't let her in. She has her own path, meaning Violet. Every path he chooses is wrong, but only one leaves Sigale alive. Panscum is yelling, "It's not what we agreed to." Xaden can't even begin to care. He wonders how much info he's sold to the enemy, how many times he's sold out by his location. Xaden makes the decision, he dies. Sigale reminds him not to lose himself. She tells him, "You have not turned as a result of his ploys this afternoon. Do not give in to this one." Xaden tells her there's no other way. Berwin says to Panscum, "Did you not ask for this power? Have I not provided?" Panscum tells him to put his daggers away. "We both know you aren't going to hurt me. I'm the only one who can give you access to your son." Berwin says he has another. Berwin stabs between the dragon scales and it desiccates, green oozing out of its scales. And why did I just picture Nickelodeon like ooze, or like what's that called?
Slime.
Slime. Yeah. And shrinking into a husk. Xaden wonders how that's even possible. Berwin says, "Were you watching? Because that's exactly what's going to happen to yours. You'll have to channel deep to replace the loss of her power." Sigale yells for him to stop and not to do this to save her. Is Panchak dead? Or is he alive because he's Venom?
I think he is dead because even though his dragon desiccated when he stabbed it with the poison tip dagger, it didn't seem like Panchak was Venom because he was trying to one-up Berwin with, "I'm the only one who can give you access to your son," and Berwin didn't give a fuck. But his death was not confirmed anywhere in the chapter or the book, and this is before Xaden gives us an Onyx Storm and he killed all those wyvern. He wasn't cool with, so like it's not outside of the realm to think like his shadows like squeezed and killed Panchak too.
I just thought it was weird that it wasn't like mentioned.
Yeah.
Like Panchak's body under like he died too because of his dragon. Like it was just why is that detail left out?
Yeah, weird detail to omit.
Yeah. That's maybe because it's just from Xaden's point of view and he doesn't give a fuck about Panchak, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And he had already said that he was going to kill Panchak, so maybe it just didn't need to be said because he went full Venom. Mm-hmm. "I'm the one who can give you access to your son. I have another." Berwin stabs deep. Oh, you were going to read this. Berwin stabs deep between the dragon scales and it desiccates, green draining from its scales, shrinking on itself to a husk.
Berwin's son. Xaden has a new brother. Like, are they supposed to call Berwin daddy?
B-Daddy. This also could be looked at like he has another person that will give him access to his son that's in leadership, not necessarily just a new son. So we can take it that angle too.
I definitely think he has more than one in.
I know, and I don't think that Panchak knew that, so he overplayed his hand because Berwin's not a dum-dum. He's got multiple people.
Yes.
Because whatever the son that I'm guessing, do you feel like it's Jack that they're referring to?
Initially, yes.
Yes.
Because he's at Basgiath behind the wards.
I know, I just want to know why the fuck Jack is so important, but I digress. Zayden doesn't give a shit. It's already done. He bends down and splays his hand on the canyon floor. He becomes the very thing he despises. He breathes in the power and exhales the darkness. Shadow streams through the canyon, thick and black. That's what she said. Blacking out the sun and turning the space pitch black. Shadow drags Berwyn and knocks him and my new brother unconscious. Zayden says his soul departs like a piece of ash from a fire, flaking free. He's no longer on the ice. He is the ice. He kills the wyvern that bit Sigale. He leaves the one who now thinks himself my brother. He hears the last remaining parts of his soul say, save them. He kills every wyvern from the canyon over the city, the wyvern that has Dane and Kath backed into a corner. Violet's voice cracks through. I love you. And a silken thread of warmth wedges itself in the opening before it seals shut, locking in place. Zayden desperately grabs for the thread, clawing to keep her as more of his pieces are blown away, lost to the void. Violet is warmth and light and air and love. He knocks off the Theophany, slides Violet with a gentleness that takes all concentration. He loves her and he clings to that emotion. He feels her pure power burning at the feeling's edges. He yanks his hand from the ground. Sigale is struggling to stand upright. Zayden asks, will you forsake me now? Now. Will you forsake me now? Dear God. Will you forsake me now? Sigale asks. What is there left of you to forsake? You tell me. And he lowers the ice and lets her in. Sigale starts, you can't mean to. Zayden says, you saw what happened. It is the only way. Sigale asks, you think she'll help? She loves me, Zayden answers. Sigale says, Taryn does not, and you haven't looked in the mirror yet. The red veins branching from your eyes look like her lightning. Zayden says she'll help, she promised. Sigale starts saying, even if she agrees to, no one will. Zayden says, someone owes me a favor. Sigale says he'll never let you near her, especially when she lies in a vulnerable state. Zayden asks if she's hurt as he reaches down the bond that connects them, but it's muddled with unconsciousness. Sigale tells him she will survive and they have completed the wards, but they extend no farther than Dreyfus.
Someone owes me a favor. It's not Dune. He's talking about somebody else, but who owes him a favor?
You don't think it's Dune?
Well, Dune definitely owes him a favor, but he said someone. Wasn't specific in saying Dune. Someone owes me a favor. Because that's what it says in the book.
I think right. I just thought someone owes me a favor. No one will, meaning will marry you. And then he said someone owes you a favor.
I think they got married and it bonded their Violet's soul to his. I don't think he's lost because of that whole wedge its way in. So
and it closes, so it's in there.
Yeah.
So
we can't lose him. He's not lost.
No, and the comment of she is light, she is warmth. What does her dad call her?
His little light.
Light.
So much, but we can't fucking infer anything. Ugh, this kills me.
Violet is the light in the Onyx Storm that Satan creates, okay?
She will save him.
She's the North Star, and she will save him.
It's I wonder how many initiates feel the same about their sage. At least one that I know of. But beyond the physical impossibility of it, he has something I need, and I'm no longer an initiate. Okay, so officially an ASIM, but what other initiate feels that way about their sage? Is Zayden in cahoots with another Venin? Could that other one that wants to kill their sage be Garebear? It could be inferred that it's Jack, but does Jack hate his sage?
No.
Jack's into being a Venin.
He loves it. So it's not Jack to me.
So I think it's Garebear that feels that way about his sage.
Yes. I agree.
Thanks.
Well, yes, that's the only thing that makes sense in my head. Zayden asks her to persuade Taryn. Everything depends on it. Sigale says, we will ask, and her decision will determine our fate.
Whatever they ask by, she would say no to Zayden if it meant saving him.
No, every possible path. She'll do it.
Exactly. So let's talk new brother breakdown. Because we got to figure this out. So quote is, I glanced past Berwin, past the gale and the venom to my new brother and the unconscious dragon lying in the valley beyond the canyon, guarded by 7 wyvern. How could he do this? Choose this after watching me stumble and fall over the last 5 months. How could he willingly walk the path I fought like hell to leap? He's the last person I would have ever expected to turn, and yet here we are. So let's talk about who knew. We've got Vi, Brennan, Garrick, Imogen, Bodhi, Rhee, Riddick, Sawyer, Jacinia. Okay, so we can immediately remove the girls, like not Vi, not Imogen, not Rhee, not Jacinia, because, well, Jacinia is not there, but none of them are brothers.
Correct.
And then you have the people who didn't know he was Venom, but you have Dane. People assume it was him, but the book says tearing the heart from the wyvern who has Dane and cast back into a corner. So Xaden helped Dane after his new brother was mentioned. So definitely not Danny baby.
Agreed.
So then Garrick, who knew, I think he already channeled and is an initiate already since he still bleeds. He showed up looking like shit and bloody when letting Vi and Xaden know T-Pain wanted Vi and Bobo. So he's not a new brother. And in chapter 4, because this is the chapter, in chapter 14, Garrick didn't come with you, is what Vi asked. Considering he was dangerously close to my side when I lost control, we decided the babysitting program wasn't as effective as we hoped. Xaden leans against the wall to the door to the left. It's just the only time Garrick doesn't show up for Xaden. It's very suspicious. So once again, I think Garrick has already channeled. So we are down to Bodhi, Riddick, Sawyer, and Arik. Arik was not formally told that Xaden is Venom, but
from what we
but homie is a precog and told Vi to strike in the dark, so he knows. All we know of is his whereabouts, which he was flying south, and Riddick is not impossible, but I don't think so based on his reaction to Xaden being Bennett. Not impossible in my book, but less likely. I can't imagine it being anyone from the core 4. Like, Sawyer doesn't give that vibe that he would turn, but what if he was feeling like he wasn't enough because his leggy?
Or lack of leggy.
Yeah.
Yes. I think Riddick is more out of the 2, likely just because of like the lucky penny thing that I said of getting the kiss and wanting to be there, be a representative for Vi.
Yeah, I would lean more towards Sawyer because of, like, you know, he wants more power because he, like, his shitty leg.
His leg.
Yeah.
Shitty leg.
I don't think Arik would turn based on his distaste for his father and Halden knowing and doing nothing. I get that feeling. So removing Garrick from New Brother, this means we have Bodhi, Riddick, Sawyer, and Arik. They're all suspects. But I do think it's Bodhi.
Yeah, because Garrick already turned.
So that's us breaking it down for you. Really got into it.
Please tell us who you think, though. I really want to. We're going to do a poll.
All right.
Once this episode comes out, we'll do a poll.
We can do a poll.
There are people. Brennan. People do think it's Brennan.
He was in Erasia, so I don't think it was Brennan. And I literally did write that. Brennan was in Erasia at this moment. He's leading. There's no way it could have been him. And
not to say that maybe it could be Brennan.
Maybe there's Brennan in him from Naolan transferring power.
Like we think that Vi might have some Brennan in her, not Xaden.
Just the tip, yeah.
Just the tip. Mm-hmm.
Chapter 66. While cadets are strongly encouraged not to form romantic attachments while studying in the quadrant, lieutenants are permitted to marry whomever they choose upon graduation. Article 5, Section 7, the Dragon Riders Codex. Both Vi and the wing leader daddy know that damn codex well. I know this.
Yes, especially if stupid Eidos was fucking with them in the beginning.
Imagine they were actually married this entire time. Surprise!
Surprise, surprise.
Violet wakes up to Brennan yelling her name in the moonlit courtyard of Ryerson House. Immediately, Andarna is like, I will not let them burn you. And Violet's like, what the fuck? Why is that an option? Then Vi is like, why in Dune's name would she be sitting in the gravel in the courtyard? Her thoughts are slow and something is wrong. Vi asks B-Dog if he's all right, and he's like, me? It's 3 a.m., not the matchbook song, because she definitely wouldn't be saying, "It's 3 a.m., I must be lonely," to her brother.
Great song.
And then his voice rises and he asks, "Where have you been?" He asks for a report quietly from someone named Wilson. Wilson says, "Official numbers are 4 riders, they're dragons, and 3 elders murdered in the valley in what we're estimating in the last few hours. We still have 5 riders missing, 4 now that Vi is accounted for. But after that display, we all know Ryerson did this. I bet the other 3 are already dead." My stomach lurches at this, and Imogen tenses so hard she might as well be stoned. Boy, does Boy have no clue how right she is. Okay, so we have 4 riders missing. Bodhi and Garrick of the 2. And then do we think that Arik is one of them, or do we think Arik's back? He's just unaccounted for at this moment.
I think Ark is gone.
Okay.
Not gone, but just gone right now.
Yes. And he'll show up. Like, guys.
And he'll have help.
Yes.
He's like, I'm not doing royal shit, guys. Fuck off.
I agree. I can't figure out who the 4th one would be. And well, we can simmer on our what you look like you think it's somebody.
I don't, actually.
No fucking
That's
clue.
what's surprising. I have opinions about everything, and I don't really have a clear. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's tough. There's also the 3 elders murdered. The only elders that are mentioned are dragons and venom, but not normal people. And I'm going to assume they're referencing dragon elders, which there is a reference of Terrence size, like he's in his elder years. So once again, is Terran lying about his age? Why kill those elders? What do those elders know?
Mm-hmm.
Wilson continues with the wards are holding Adrathis as of the last report, but who knows how many of those desiccations during the battle were actually him. And so far, the tally is at 6 eggs missing from the hatching ground, but they're double checking. Vi reaches for Taryn, but the bond feels foggy, like he's asleep. But Vi's like, "I saw him like 5 minutes ago." I'm so glad I wrote bong.
Me too.
He needs a cycle of rest to recover, Andarna clarifies. Recover from what? Violet says. Were the bonds broken or bent for him, as in like him and Sigale? Which is what I really think it was. But I think that they were bent, not broken.
Yes, I think Andarna did some magical shit there.
I agree. She learned some shit while she was with Thanthan with the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Some things start coming back to Vi.
I like that I call him Leo and you call him Fan.
We each have part of his name.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, keep going.
Things start coming back to Vi, 86ing Theophany from life, shout out to Arik, and Xaden, and his wall of shadows. But Vi doesn't understand how she got there and why her head is so hazy. Brennan dismisses the others to keep shit classified. Brennan asks softly, "Do you know where he is?" Ryerson, "You heard what Wilson said. We have dead dragons and riders and missing eggs. If you've seen Ryerson, I need to know." Violet, it's interesting how his demeanor softened as soon as the others left, kind of telling Vi he's on her side, but they have to figure this out together if they want to save Vaden. Same Vaden. If they want to save Xaden, like he's got some skin in this game.
And is good. I also think he knows a lot more than he lets on. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Xaden kind of clued him in on some things that Vi doesn't know about because we don't have the POV for like what's that called? An insurance policy, let's just say.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to come back, so.
A lot of moving pieces at Xaden. Xaden's a chess master for sure.
For sure.
Violet has no clue where she has been and she can't think. A piece of parchment falls from her front pocket and Brennan catches it. B-Dog then asks Imogen and she says she hasn't seen him since yesterday and then asks about Garrick, but he is also among the missing. Then B-Dog is like, "Holy shit, Violet," and she thinks she just has a broken arm, but there is a beautiful gold ring with an emerald the size of her thumbnail, and she knows the stone matches the others from the Blade of Horatia that is in the glass the glass case of emotions on Xaden's nightstand. Violet is like, "What the fuck is going on?" B-Dog says, "You don't know?" Then asks to open the parchment, which has the seal of Dune. She's like, "Sure," and can't stop staring at the ring on her wedding finger when she was just brawling with T-Pain. It's 3 a.m. She's back in Horatia. There are murdered dragons and riders missing and missing is. Would Xaden do that? How far did that shadow storm go? She tries to fling herself down the bond, but it's gone, or Xaden is too far to feel it. The parchment is an official blessing of your legal binding marriage by the head priestess of Dune.
I just want to know who took her damn eggs because it's setting it up acting like Xaden did, which is the most likely scenario, or like Auric, Garrick, Bear, like for a full thing. Um, but I just don't want to count anything out. It could be like a misdirection situation where things are getting blamed on Xaden because he did all of that, and it could be someone else, but I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion on it, but yeah. I think that they're planning on, my guess is it's Xaden and Auric or that group, and they're giving the eggs to the Isles to get those
What if he takes
armies.
the eggs to the Isle of Dune as like a favor to have himself dedicated so that way he can not be Venom? It's a
Possible.
barter.
Yeah.
Who's to say? Why'd you?
You're like, fine, I'll give you these damn eggs. Heal my soul, bitch.
Exactly. Vi is like, married to who? Xaden? Brenna is like, duh, girl. There's a note on the outside that says, don't look for me. It's yours now. Vi is feeling like someone has fucked with her. And she's like, no way. How long have I been missing? B-Dog says 12 hours. She asks Imogen, what did you do? Imogen's like, what you asked me to. The end.
That's wild. So don't look for me. Okay, obviously, don't look for Xaden. It's yours now. Tyrandor, he's gone. And I'm taking it as Bodhi rather than
His
him.
soul.
Yes. He's not Manon writing it for Aelin. He's gone. Because he was supposed to be, the spare, the one that would step up.
Right. And he's saying, it's yours now.
Tyrandor, yeah. Not for you. I know you know that.
So your official brother guess?
The brothers Bodhi and because Garrick was already a brother. I'm with you on that.
Yes.
Are we in agreement?
We are. We only really had one disagreement today about this.
And I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not really. I was throwing shit out.
we're all just spitballing here.
Yeah, we love to spitball. We threw a spit wad.
All right. So let's talk about some of the characters that we encountered in this book that we assume will continue on. You've got your current second squad, Flame Section, Fourth Wing, and their signets. You got Violet, Lightning Wielding and Dreamwalking, Imogen, Memory Erasing and Petrification. She's Medusa Light, Retrieving, Sawyer, Metal Moving and Melting. I cannot say the actual word. Riddick,
Nope.
you have Ice Wielding, Cat heightens emotions, Marin does mind work of some sort, but then we have the rest of the second squad. You have Auric, who's got precog, Lynx, the new shadow wielder, and then we have Traeger, wing leader Dane Ados. He deserves to be called like a sexy wing leader who's retrocognition. We got Bobo, who counters signets, unsure of his second. We think it could be some form of intrinsic based on familial line. We have Mira, who can extend wards, Garrick, air wielding and distance wielding, and then honorable mention of Avalyn, who's a fire wielder, Baylor, who has far sight, and then the flyers, Bragan, Nev, and Kai. Leadership,
And just want to say, hold on. We still don't know Sloane's possible second signet too. So even more powerful, guys. Keep going.
on leadership we know of in Navarre, there's DJ Mellymel, King Tori, Halden, Dick Dad Ados. In Horatio, we have Brennan, Felix Surrey, who wasn't mentioned more than once in this book, Duke Llewellyn, not the place, and then Duke Lindell, Bougie B, Viscount T, who's now the king. We have Professors Carr, Devera, Keandra, Emeterio, and Kaori, and then Venin we know of. Berwyn, Xaden, and then the mystery man, the brother, which we think is Bodhi. Some theories we had through the books, aka ones that were
These are the two that we both fully believe in.
We both believe Silly Lily was Venin and that there is a prophecy.
Those are the ones that we are both married to. Obviously, the brother thing that we agreed on.
Right.
So mine is Theophany was actually Lyra from the first six. I believe that the first six all turned, possibly seven, turned Venin, and that's just one boss down, five more to go. Naolin is actually Berwyn. Wait, we probably both believe that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bus. Irids, which mean the Empyrean, which is godlike. We think that they probably live with the gods. Asher didn't die of a heart attack.
Oh shit, we both
I
believe
think
that
all the
one.
gods are trying to. Huh?
Both believe that one.
Yeah. I still think that all the gods are trying to curry her favor, or at least are trying to help her, because she's the chosen one in this prophecy. The Emerald Sea will come into play big time in the next books. Sloane and Dane be fucking. Both believe. Vi's eyes being indecisive and Hazel are a representation of her path not being set. I wonder if her eyes are a different color, meaning her path is more set.
Yeah, good point.
Violet is pure power, not just lightning. Obviously, she got magic in her too. She's a lucky bee. Intention when you turn Venin does matter for bad Venin, good Venin. Xaden, Gerber, and Bodhi will be double agents. The Irids live with the gods. I said that. General Daramore was a seventh rider and turned Venin. And Darna's venom tail will be part of the cure. Mira and Drake be fucking.
I'm definitely on board with that one. They definitely be fucking.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that Asher wrote Fables of the Baron, and I don't think we're done with that story yet.
No, bold that. I believe in that as well.
And Darna bent their bond initially and will have the ability to bend or break other dragon/human bonds. Naolin siphoned power into a I'm very specific on this one. Naolin siphoned power into a resurrection rune to bring Brennan back, and Naolin turned Venin in the process. And then that Garrick is already Venin.
Yep. Things we were left wondering with this book. What did Jack know that made Theophany want to kill him? Who prepped Jack before he went into the Riders Quadrant? How did Asher actually die? Or is he dead?
Yeah.
Who can say?
What I'm wondering is, are there mermaids? Which is what led to the thought, if can Venin breathe underwater? Does intention matter when you turn Venin, i.e. turning for lover versus power? Why was Xandarna's egg colored silver to match Violet's hair and onyx to match Xaden's eyes and shadows? The correlation is wild to me. Mira's bracelet with potential Tirish knots, which has not been confirmed, so we can only assume. And were they imbued with magic? Did Asher moonlight as the Riddler? Definitely an important one. Did Nolan actually heal Jack's soul and then leadership made him channel again because he was nice to Violet, saved her life? There was no traces of red mentioned. We've brought it up that he could have been a plant, which would make sense that they would make him channel again if they did mend his soul. But Asher implied that scribes are liars. Silly Lily had Vi go to the Writer's Quadrant after Asher died. Markham was pissed that his star scribe changed quadrants. We are assuming Jack was a plant. Was Markham's plan have Vi to become Venin and do all the things that Jack was doing? We did have a theory that was actually denied. It was
Allegedly.
But we're not going with it. The only theory that we had truly confirmed or denied was our commitment to fated mates. We know Rebecca debunked this, but we believe there's prophecy that's making Xaden and Violet destined for one another. What would you rate the story, Blake?
5 out of 5 stars. I love this book. It truly did take so much brain power to cover this book, but I'm so excited to like reread it in like a year. I need a break.
Same.
You?
5 out of 5 stars. It ranks first for me, Iron Flame second, Fourth Wing third. I do think the books are progressively getting better because like even though this book has broken my brain, I love this. Like it's been a wild ride theorizing. It's been fun.
No, I love it too. And like for those that didn't like Iron Flame, which is I didn't feel that way. I understand being mad at the end of it because I obviously get that. but I suggest rereading because, and same thing for this book, Onyx Storm. Reread it. You'll like it. I mean, we've reread it like 4 times in the last month.
More than that, with how many times I've reread chapters.
Oh yeah, it
It's
has to
insane.
be because we go time. So it's the other thing I didn't mention. I think Asher is God touched in some way
I could get behind that for sure.
because Lilith wrote a note to Asher once that said something about the gifts you gave Violet, and I just felt like that comment we should explore more. See you in a reel in a month when I can talk about
When
it.
out of
I need a break.
nowhere, like you can complete the thought.
Yes. Brain has been used too much, and we will still talk about the Empyrean, so don't see us going MIA from it, but just sporadically. Our brains need to rest.
I agree. So that's a perfect way to end this. That is our thoughts on Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros and our final episode of the series. We hope that you enjoyed your journey through Basgiath, the Isles, and Eratia with us.
Like I said, we are not done with the Empyrean series. We will be covering the future books. But thank you so much for tuning in and spending time with us as we go off on our tangents.
See you for the next one, guys.
Well, check you later.